Welcome back to the channel. Side Hustle Cinema here, and I just finished watching episode 2 of the Chucky TV series, Give Me Something Good to Eat. And I gotta say, I'm really enjoying the series. This episode was the Halloween episode. I didn't think we'd be getting this for a little bit. I was really kind of surprised to see it come in episode 2. But it was a lot of fun, and I'm going to break it all down. We're going to talk about what all went on in this episode. And my favorite part of the breakdown, we get to see if we get to add anyone to the Chucky kill count. So let's go ahead and get into it. But first, if you guys like this type of content, go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you haven't already subscribed, well, tell them what to do, Chucky.
Subscribe, damn it. I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you moron.
And go ahead and leave a comment about anything we talk about during this video. I like hearing your guys' opinions on what you guys are thinking about the series and what you think might happen in the future. In this episode, we get to see a lot of the relationships start to develop with several of the characters in the show. You got Devin and Jake. You got Jake and Chucky. You got Chucky and Caroline. You got Junior and Jake. You got Junior and his dad. Junior and Lexi. Yeah, everyone seemed to be having some relationship problems. And we'll touch on all these things as we get through the breakdown of the episode. So we start the episode off with a flashback of 1965. And young Charles Lee Ray's dumping out his Halloween candy onto a table. And we see that there's an apple in there. And he finds the apple. It's got a razor blade in it. He ends up cutting his finger. And he's staring at the razor blade. You don't think he's going to take a bite of it. But then he takes a giant bite of it anyway. And he seems to smile about it. Which was kind of disturbing. But disturbingly awesome. It was kind of a cool scene, actually, because it, lets you know that Charles Lee Ray was kind of a crazy kid, And that was all the flashback that we got, and I was kind of glad for that, Wasn't really looking forward to those flashbacks. But if they keep it short like this, I'm fine with it. I think it was kind of cool. So then we jump into the episode, and Jake's now starting to go back to school. He hadn't been to school since, his dad died in the last episode, and well, the kids at school were treating him a little bit better, because of the talent show and the thing he did with Chucky at the talent show. He actually gets invited to Oliver's Halloween party. He's like one of the rich, popular kids, and so he agrees to go, and it kind of looks like things are turning up for him a little bit, or so you think. Later on, it's after school, and Junior and Jake are hanging out, and Jake's still kind of getting the cold shoulder from Junior. That's one thing in this episode they didn't really touch on, is you still don't understand, why Junior hates Jake so much. They didn't really get into that this week. But then they make a grisly discovery. And that brings us to today's Chucky kill count. Turns out that Annie the housekeeper was up in Jake's room cleaning and saw a little spot of blood on Chucky's cheek there. And she goes to spray him and wipe it off for him. And I guess Chucky didn't like this too much, because he follows her downstairs. And then this happens. Well, this was the only kill we got in the episode. It was a pretty good one. Again, plays it off as an accident. Just slipped, fell on all the butcher knives in the house. And this was the only kill this week, so we're going to put it on the board. Last week we had Crispy Devin Sawa, we had Binksy the cat, and now we're getting Annie, you missed a spot. Poor old Annie the housekeeper, just trying to earn a paycheck, ends up getting killed in the dishwasher. So Junior and Jake end up finding Annie dead in the dishwasher. And they call the cops again. And the cops are back and they're investigating another death, another week. And the same kids around Jake Wheeler. So what do you do when your housekeeper just dies? Well, of course you go to a Halloween party. And so the kids are off. They're going to go to a Halloween party. Jake decided he wasn't going to go. But then Chucky decided he was going to go by himself. So so Jake ends up having to go and try to find him and try to save his friends from getting murdered. And this is where we get to see Chucky on the streets wearing his Hello Kitty costume. And he's out trick-or-treating, you know, just a kid, just chilling, wearing a Hello Kitty mask, looking for a party. So he's asking directions for a party, ends up giving the lady a apple, the same apple that they showed in the, well, not the same apple, but a similar apple to the one they showed in the flashback. Of course, it has a razor blade in it. And then Chucky's off to the party. And then also before the party, you know, Jake and Chucky had a conversation too that I think kind of deepened their relationship when Chucky reveals to Jake that he has a son who's gay.
I have a queer kid.
You have a kid,
Gender fluid.
and you're cool with it.
I'm not a monster, Jake.
So it's kind of weird watching Chucky just have like sort of semi-normal conversations with, you know, someone when he's not like trying to possess them or something like that, you know, like there doesn't really seem to be a Chucky agenda other than he just wants to help Jake and sort of just he enjoys killing people. It's a little different, you know, than what we've seen in the past, but I don't mind it so far. I mean, it's been okay. You're still getting a little bit of that old school Chucky feel, but a little different, So now Junior's at the party and he's looking for his girlfriend Lexi, who's, you know, the horriblest person in the world. And you know, she is up in the room just smoking some weed, you know, waiting to reveal her costume to everybody. And Junior starts to talk about her, and, you know, he kind of wants to open up a little bit. You kind of get the feeling, you know, she makes a comment, would he catch her if she falls? And he kind of turns it back on her and wants to know if she would catch him if he falls. You know, kind of meaning that he's having a hard time living up to these standards, you know, that his dad puts on him with the whole, you know, track star thing, and then the going to college, you know, like Harvard, and just keeping up your grades, keeping up appearances, keeping up with the academics and the sports. So maybe we'll eventually see a turnaround in his character if he survives. But instead of her, you know, having a meaningful conversation and you know, showing any empathy or caring about anyone, she just decides to make fun of him for being a horrible lover. Meanwhile, you got Chucky underneath the bed trying his best to stab her through the mattress, and he kind of keeps missing, which was kind of comical. You also see Chucky playing video games with Lexi's little sister Carolyn, and they're having a whole conversation about, you know, swearing and killing people and this and that and the other. And, you know, I think something's going on there. Like, he seems to have bonded with this little girl, and, you know, not just Jake, but he's kind of bonded with her as well. And she sees something in Chucky that she likes. I mean, she's like drawing him. You know, you saw at the talent show, she's like got this big smile on her face. And maybe she's got something going on, but she was a really talented artist. And, you know, they had her drawing this really nice picture of Chucky. And, yeah, so they were just hanging out. So maybe that's a build-up of something to come. The relationship between Jake and Devin, it's on a simmer. There's no heat there right now, but at least they're getting a little closer. You know, they're starting to talk more, starting to actually build a friendship. But nothing really happened this episode. Maybe later. They did get locked in a closet together, but nothing happened in there. 7 minutes of nothing. We also didn't see any of the returning characters. You know, no Andy Barkley in this one, no Kyle, no Nika, no Tiffany. None of the returning characters showed up in this one. We just got the mention of Glenn, you know, when Jake and Chucky were talking about, you know, Chucky mentioned that he had a gay son, and, you know, that he didn't mention him by name, but, you know, he was talking about Glenn. And that was the only kind of throwback moment there was. Well, then the evening at the party comes to a halt when Lexi reveals her costume, and her costume ends up being Jake's dead dad, and she's recreating him being electrocuted. And you kind of see Junior's reaction. He's, you know, shocked by this. You can tell he kind of doesn't like it. And then Jake's reaction, of course, he's horrified at what he's seeing. All the other kids seem to be laughing and stuff at it, but I don't really know why. I mean, none of them would really know what Jake's dad looked like. I don't even know how she kind of knew. I mean, like what he was wearing, how, you know, I don't know how she knew all of those details, really, to be able to recreate this. I mean, this one seemed to be a bit of a reach, and I didn't really love this moment. You know, they could have just had her be mean some other way, but, you know, like normal, she's horrible, so, And this pretty much ends the evening for Jake. He takes off, he leaves. Chucky ends up going back home as well. And then the episode closes with them having a conversation up in Jake's room, where again he tries to sort of convince him that, you know, Lexi needs to go. She needs to die. And you kind of see Jake starting to think, yeah, I think so too. You see the reflection of Chucky in the knife as he hands it to Jake. But then you see the reflection change to Jake in the knife. That was kind of a interesting thing that happened there. I liked it. Kind of subtle, but it's kind of letting you know that, you know, Jake's kind of starting to go to that dark side, getting in that mindset where maybe he doesn't mind seeing some of these people who treat him so bad, you know, get taken out. And that's pretty much where the episode leaves off. You know, we're only getting 8 episodes in this season, so we still got 6 episodes left, and we know that we got some returning characters that are eventually going to show up. We saw in the trailer, you know, there's a whole big truckload of good guy dolls that show up in town. Are they all possessed? You know, we could have some real fireworks go off, you know, in these last 6 episodes. So I don't know if it's going to stay in this gear or not, but let me tell you, this episode only felt like it was about 10 minutes long. It seemed to start and was over like before you knew it. I don't think 8 episodes is enough. We need like 16 episodes. But yeah, I'm really enjoying the series. Hope you guys are too. Let me know in the comments section what you guys thought of the episode. Do you think Chucky's going to end up getting to kill Lexi? I don't know. Maybe. I think so, right? Is Junior going to come around and stop being such a huge prick all the time? Is Jake going to the dark side? Maybe we'll get the answer to some of those questions next week. And I'll be back to review and break it all down for you. So until next week, you guys have fun. Stay safe. Keep watching those movies. And I'll see you next week.